So in this video, what I'm going to do is show you a quick breakdown of our 1 octave E major scale, starting with our first finger on our E on our D string. So we're actually going to go up to a high E on our G string. So a few things to remember with E major. We have 4 sharps that we're going to play. We have F sharp, we have a G sharp, we have a C sharp, and then we have a D sharp. So this is a little bit of a change from some of the scales we've had before, less sharps as we go through, but it's not really much of anything different. We're just moving our fingers slightly further back on our G string so we can get that low first finger G sharp. The other thing that we're going to want to keep in mind is making sure we stick to the finger pattern that I show you all here in this video, and also so you know this is a 1/4 size bass that I am playing on, and that is why some of the finger patterns are going to look kind of squished. It's because my hand is exceptionally big for this bass. So it looks like I could play, instead of first and fourth finger, I could do first, second. On this bass I could, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to keep to my finger patterns very correctly. So we start on our first finger E on our D string. We're going to space out all 4 fingers to an F sharp there. Then we're going to go back to a low first finger on our G string for this G sharp. And then we're going to have a second finger A. Here now we're going to shift up actually to a first finger on B natural. Our pinky is going to land on 4th finger for C sharp. Our first finger is going to land where we would normally have a D natural, but we're going to put our second finger down instead for a D sharp. And then we're going to put 3rd and 4th finger down for our E at the top. Should fit nicely with our open E string, but if you're not sure, the other surefire way to check is with a tuner, making sure you have that high E right on top. So again, as we go up, first finger E, 4th finger F sharp, low first finger G sharp, second finger A, first finger to B, pinky to C sharp, second finger D sharp, 4th finger E, and then as we come back, 4th finger E, second finger D sharp, 4th finger C sharp, first finger B, second finger A, going from first finger B to second finger A, first finger G sharp, 4th finger F sharp, first finger E. So there are 2 tricky spots in this scale, at least for me, and that's going from F sharp here to G sharp here without letting there be a space in between my notes. And then as I'm coming back down from B to A, that's a little bit more of a space that we have to cover there. So getting your hand used to making that quick movement back and forth accurately is going to be the big challenge. So a good way to practice those would be going E, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, back and forth there. Getting that as seamless as possible, and then let's say, and that actually works for Mary Had a Little Lamb. We could do that as a practice. Making sure you're using those correct fingers. But anything that gets you practicing going back and forth between those 2, or going back and forth between those 2, is what is going to make that much easier for you in the long run. So be sure to practice it a bunch, and practice where you need the most clarification, the most repetition. if you can do parts of it really well and a few parts not so well, practice the parts that aren't so good before you spend a lot of time on the parts that are good. So that way it's all good.